Alright, so let's take a look at Windows 10, and I'm going to give you my top 10 features of Windows 10, so stay tuned. So here we are in Windows 10 Preview. The official version launches in just about a month, if not less than that by the time this video launches. This is build 10130, so this isn't the final version yet, but we're getting pretty close. So let's go ahead and get started. Number 1 on my top 10 list is it's free. So for the first time ever, you can upgrade to Microsoft's latest version of their operating system for absolutely free if you're running Windows 7 with the latest updates, and if you're running Windows 8.1 with the latest updates. If you're running Windows 8, you need to update to Windows 8.1 first so that you're eligible for the update. And make sure all your Windows updates are done, because you do have to be fully updated to move on to the next version. But it's free, and that's a great move for Microsoft's part because it means everybody can get this technology. So the first feature I love is the built-in PDF viewer. So if we let's say we just want to print the Google home page or something like that. We simply go and print. And when you click print, there is a built-in printer called Microsoft PDF or Print to PDF. You just select that, click OK. Select where you want it to save your PDF. And once it saves, then you can open your PDF and easily do anything you want with that. Alright, number 3. The start menu is back, but better than ever. So if you're coming from Windows 7, this should have a somewhat familiar feel to it, but with the new live tile icons. And if you're coming from Windows 8 or 8.1, this should be a very refreshing view because you don't have the full screen start screen coming up that took up your whole space. You have a mix of both worlds here, where on the right hand side you have the new modern live tiles, which you can set these up to give you updates on different things, and it just creates a nice way that you can organize links. So instead of having to have all your links on your desktop, like a bunch of shortcuts, you can actually just put all your favorite stuff right here on this section, and it's very flexible. You can drag stuff around. You can resize tiles, and you can pin pretty much anything that you want to start. And then over here on the left-hand side, you have more of the classic start menu with your most recently used applications, newly added applications here, and then your common settings here for File Explorer, which you can customize these by going into settings, and I believe it's personalization, and then you can click on start, and you can customize the list. And so if you're used to using Windows 7, you can turn it, I want to show my documents, pitch, downloads, and pictures. Turn those on, and then those will show up down there as well. The next thing, which you may have already noticed, is it's just got a great new look, and it has a lot of personalization features. So right now it's got a very basic gray theme to it. But unlike any operating systems before, you can now customize this to your heart's content, which with some limitations. But so if you don't like this gray look on everything, where the start menu is gray, you can go in here to personalization and colors, and you can unmark this here. Or sorry, this option here, you can turn this on where it says show color on start taskbar and action center. So if we turn that on, we notice the taskbar changes to our color, and our start menu now has a nice color to it. And so we can go around here and we can pick whatever color we want. If we want more of a green, we can do that, and that's real nice. Now what else is great about this is this color works through all of the new modern applications. So what you notice, the control panel now has this blue color, and all the little highlights and links and stuff that we use all take on that accent color. So you can pretty much pick your favorite color and change your favorite color throughout the day, throughout the week, to fit your mood. And so it's not just customizing the background anymore. You can really customize the color of all the things all at once. And that's something I really like. Some people may not really care, and so you'll leave it on the default gray with, I believe, a blue accent, which I actually like that view because it's a little too much color for me putting it on this setting. So I actually like leaving a bright color, but then turning this off so that my taskbar is that dark gray and everything has that dark gray background to it. So I kind of like that look. All right, so number 5 is the notification center. So for the first time ever in Windows, I believe some other operating systems may have had this, your phone, but this is pretty much what your phone has had forever, and that's a notification center. So when you click on this little icon here in the bottom right, you get the notification center, which basically gives you a history of all the things that have popped up in your computer. So if you're running Windows 7, this is brand new. This is a totally new feature, and kind of gives you notifications on your computer just like your phone does. But if you're coming from Windows 8, you've probably noticed you get those little notifications in the top right corner. They pop up for like a second or two, and then they go away. And if you don't get a chance to click on them when they go away, well, you kind of lost that notification. So this will give you a quick way to kind of look through your notifications for the day. This can be configured with all sorts of different things. You can have like your email, social apps, just system things can notify you here, and you can quickly clear all those away if you want. Number 6 is Cortana. So if you notice down here next to the start menu, you can click on start and get the normal start menu and just search for whatever you want, just like you normally would. But if instead you click on the search box, you'll actually get, and let's go ahead and get it activated here. Let's turn on Cortana. And Cortana is the personal assistant for your desktop. Now, Cortana has been on the Windows Phone for, I believe, over a year, maybe 2 years now. And so Cortana is the first, I believe, I don't know if the Chromebook has something, but it's the first time a voice-activated personal assistant has been brought directly into a computer. She can remind you to do things. You can just talk naturally to her, find stuff on your computer. Pretty much anything that you can search for or that you're used to searching for on your phone using like Siri or Cortana or Google Now, you can now do that right through your computer. So all you have to do is click I'm in, which opts you in, and accept the license agreement for this, which is just the same as it is on your phone, where you have to, in order for it to work, you have to give them access to your information. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set it up. So if we say, hey Cortana, that she'll immediately respond. So yes, we want to do that. And we're going to put in my name, and we're going to use that. But you'll be able to do have a notebook, which is basically all the information that Cortana knows about you. You can put in that notebook, so you can tell her as much or as little as you want. That's up to you, which I love. It's not in the background just like secretly trying to get all your information unless you tell it, yeah, you can have access to my email, or yeah, you can have access to my text messages. Like, you tell them what you want it to have access to, and based upon that, it'll give you that. Reminders is one of my favorite things ever. Let me see if I can get this to work here. Remind me in 3 hours to take out the garbage. So I'm not going to go ahead and set that, and the voice prompt for that actually came through my headphones, so you can hear that. But she'll actually read that back to you as you say that. So now, actually, let me try something here. I haven't tried this yet, but I'm going to have everything off and be like, hey, Cortana, remind me in 2 hours to go to bed. So there we go. So again, it was able to respond to that by just voice activation. And I think what makes that so good is that you're going to be able to just be working on something and then naturally talk and say, hey, Cortana, and then just, hey, Cortana, what's the weather outside? And so it's doing a Bing search right now. I'm not sure if it's going to pull it up. It's thinking about something. But normally it would give you the weather there. And like I said, this is still an early build, so there's a lot of bugs being worked out. Cortana has only recently been actually developed a lot in Windows 10. It was one of the last things I started working on. But they're pretty much just bringing the same thing that's been on the Windows Phone to the computer, which is great. So it wants to work, but it can't. But it should tell you, basically give you what the forecast, what the weather is outside. So you'll be able to ask it all those natural questions. On day one, will it be a little buggy? Probably, because it's brand new. But the more we engage with that, the more we ask those questions, the more they can make the stuff better. So I'm really excited for that. To number 7, and that is universal apps. A universal app is going to be an application that is written for Windows. And what's going to be great about these apps is they will work, the exact same app will work on all your devices. So let's use Apple for example. Right now, if you download the Facebook app, well, you're downloading an app for your iPhone, an app for your iPad, and if you have a Mac computer, you're downloading the Mac OS version of the Facebook app. So although you're downloading the app, you're actually downloading 3 very separate apps. Which from your standpoint as the user, it doesn't make a difference. If you get an app that works, great. But for developers, the universal app means that we can write one application and it'll work on all devices as long as we build it the correct way, to make sure we account for all the different screen sizes. So what that means is a Windows phone, a Windows tablet, a desktop, or even the Xbox, and eventually even the HoloLens, holographic computers, will be able to run that single application. And so for you as the user, this means that you get a consistent experience across all devices. You don't have to worry about, oh yeah, the tablet version of that app's a little buggy, or oh, there's actually not a tablet version of that app yet. You'd be amazed to look at on other phone and tablet platforms how many apps are only on one of those devices. So this is going to allow one application to work on multiple devices. So actually, let me open the store here because I think this is one that's they're going to eventually convert into being that, so that the store app will be the same. Yeah, and so what you can see here is I can maximize this on my screen and I get a nice full view of all these apps. But if I was on a mobile phone, so let me shrink this all the way down here, I'd get a little bit more of a condensed view, but still fully functional. And so you can see kind of how this app can run in any screen size. And that's kind of what a universal app is. It's one app that can work on all devices. And so from the user standpoint, that's good because it means developers can make these apps and you can get to them on different platforms. Number 8 is a completely redesigned control panel, which they attempted to do this in Windows 8 and it just was not very good. It was still very hard to use, and a lot of the settings you had to actually, you couldn't find the setting in the new control panel, so you had to go close out of that and go into the classic control panel. So if you're not sure what I mean here, let me open up both control panels. The classic control panel is still in Windows 10 because there are still rare cases where you may need to use that, or if you're like an IT person, you definitely may need to get in there every now and then. But you also notice when I just pinned that window, it now gives me an option to select any of the other applications I have opened. And I'll take a moment here just to make a little fun. I saw this in the Apple conference where they announced this new feature, and I'm like, okay, first of all, it's been in the computer since Windows 7, and it's been in the Windows 10 developer preview pretty much since the preview came out a year ago, or not quite a year ago. So it's not really a new idea. It's kind of been out there, and honestly, like this just naturally feels like this would be the next step. So if anybody out there goes, oh, this was stolen from Apple, no, this has been in the preview for a very, very long time. So anyways, we'll snap these two applications side by side so you can kind of see the difference. Here, we'll go ahead and make these large icons. So, or your control panel on the left may kind of look like this. So basically what they've done is they've condensed the control panel into this screen here. Very simple, very easy to go, hey, what are you looking to do? Something with the system, and it tells you right underneath that kind of what those things would be: a device, network internet, personalization, account, etc. So it makes it very easy to drill down in. Okay, system. Yeah, I'm looking for apps, and you can go into those. So this is kind of a way to uninstall or change your app settings. So this new control panel really should simplify being able to find settings on your computer. But if that, whoops, this is actually still loading here. There we go, and I just closed it. So let me open it back up. Or what you can do is just go, oh, I'm looking for Bluetooth. Oh, I don't have Bluetooth on my computer. Okay, I'm looking for wireless settings. You can type those things in, or I'm looking for my printers. So you can type in printer. Oh, there's my printer and scanners. There's all your printers. Or you can just not even open settings now, and you can go straight down here to Cortana and be like, printer, and click on the first result. There's your printers. Number 9, quick access. So this feature is in File Explorer, and it's over here in the top left. Normally this was called favorites, and you could add like certain folders to your favorites. But what's nice about quick access is this actually intuitively looks at what you access the most, and it attempts to put those folders under your frequently used folders. And then below that, it'll show all your recent files. Now, what makes this great is if you know you are recently working on something, by default you just open File Explorer, and most people only work on a small amount of this stuff at a time. So most likely when you come in, you know, whether it's to work or whether it's you're working on something at home, you know, those files that you just recently used are going to show here. You don't have to go digging around your computer to find them, and you don't have to make a bunch of shortcuts and folders all over your computer. Just save it wherever you feel like it should be saved in your documents or your videos, and then you'll be able to find them right here. So I like this feature. It's simple. What I also like about it is you can pin anything you want to quick access. And then finally is the task view and multiple desktop. So you click this little icon here. There's a shortcut key, I think Windows Tab. Yeah, Windows Tab is the shortcut key, and that's been there for a while. It's just most people don't know about it because it's a shortcut key. So now there's an icon to the right of the search box here. You click that, it brings you into task view, and it shows you all the applications you have open. And if you have multiple monitors, it'll actually show you the applications that you have open on each monitor. So here we can see all the applications that I have open. I can click on one that I want to open. And I can also click on that, and there's an option over here on the right for a new desktop. And if I click on that, it'll actually create a brand new blank virtual desktop for me to use. And so you could use stuff like that if you wanted maybe one desktop set up for a work project and you wanted another desktop set up for, you know, some personal stuff. You could have those two desktops set up, switch back and forth nice and easy. And that's really great if you only have one screen, especially like on a laptop where you don't have a lot of screen space. Sometimes you just get so much stuff open that it would be nice if you could just have a new excuse me, a new blank desktop to work on. So that's my top 10, and there are so many other great things. As I was even doing this top 10 looking at stuff, I was like, oh, there's so much other cool stuff that I kind of had to skip over. And so when Windows 10 comes out, it is definitely worth the upgrade. You know, if you're coming from Windows 7, it's going to have a ton of new features, a ton of new things to try. And if you're coming from Windows 8 or Windows 8.1, especially if you're on a desktop, you're really going to enjoy how much work they've put back into making it really good with mouse and keyboard. But don't think that this is just, oh, you know, they messed up on Windows 8, so now they're going back to what they did in Windows 7. No, they haven't let go of anything that they set out to do in Windows 8. All that good stuff that was in Windows 8 is actually still here. And they've added a ton of new stuff, so it's not a step backwards. So thank you for watching my video on the top 10 features of Windows 10. This isn't a full list of things, so if you have something that you think is the best feature of Windows 10, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And maybe you found something that I don't even know about, so that would be great. If you like this video, give it a like. If you didn't like it, go ahead and give it a dislike. And hope you'll subscribe to my channel. And once again, thank you very much for watching.